Well, for our last question of the day, what is the greatest day of your life?
Well, that's a great question because I can sit here and I could say, it was the birth of my first kid, or my second kid, or my third kid, or my fourth kid, or my fifth, or my. You get the point. I have a lot of kids, but none of those days, none of those births compare to today. Because today is the day. Let's listen to Dana White. Give us the news. Dana White, you bald fraud, you bald freak. Let's hit it.
John Jones called us last night and retired. John Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC. John Jones called us last night and retired.
Let's play it on repeat.
John Jones
over,
is officially retired.
And over.
Tom Aspinall
and
is
over,
the heavyweight champion
and
of the
over.
UFC.
And okay, you get the point. Now, John Jones is officially retired. It's over. It's done. Look, you can see. Look to the right. Iranian nuclear. World War III is commencing. You think I give a fuck? No. This is bigger than any world war that could take fucking place, all right? John Jones is officially retired. Now, he announced this in the middle of a UFC Baku, UFC Azerbaijan, whatever the fuck. He announced it in the middle of the press conference, just like smack in the middle. It took for some random Azerbaijani lady to ask him what's going on with the heavyweight division. Because I'm assuming he wouldn't have even had, told us. Would we have even known? Would he have told us? It took for some lady to ask him. So this is phenomenal news. This is some of the best news I've gotten in my entire life, I'm not going to lie. Recently, I've been a little bit down, just things in general have kind of gotten me down in life. Life in general, right? But this injected, it's like I got an injection of cocaine in my veins. I feel alive, man. This is phenomenal. I love this. I just love this, man. Because now what we can do as not as fans, but what we can do as fans, actually. We'll start with this. What we can do as fans is we can move on. That's for starters. We can move on. We cannot talk. We don't have to talk about John Jones ever again. I really think this could be the last video I ever do on this guy. I love this. I don't have to speak about this gay man ever again. I don't have to speak about John Jones. I don't have to discuss his name. I don't have to hear about his name. I don't have to hear the word ducking. He's done. That's it. It's over. This is why this is such good news. So as fans, we don't have to hear about John Jones ever again. As a company, they can move forward. We can see guys like Cyril Gahn now move on with their careers. Jailton Almeida move on with his career. Fucking Volkov move on with his career. And most importantly, Tom Aspinall move on with his career. An active heavyweight champion. Well, look at Tom's reaction. Let me try to find it. He says, for you fans, it's time to get this division going. An active heavyweight champion. This is the thing, man. This really kind of saves heavyweight. And if you watch UFC Baku, Azerbaijan, whatever the fuck it's called, the heavyweight fights were not bad, but they were just they were bad. Let's just say they were bad. There were some fun moments. Some people were Curtis Blades and Kuniev was a solid fight. Blades got rocked a couple of times. And Kuniev, he was getting hit, even though that was a complete robbery and Curtis Blades should have not got that decision. It was a complete fucking robbery. I'm just saying, the heavyweight is a joke, is what I'm trying to say. The heavyweight is a joke. You have guys like Waldo Cortez Acosta, who's somehow a contender. No offense to him, he's a cool guy, he's a cool fighter, but he's not he's not Alex Pereira on the rise. He's not Malcolm Wellmaker on the rise. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So my point is, this division can finally get moving. We can get some movement. We can get some contenders coming in and out. We can get Tom defending his belt. Let's get Tom. I'm going to say this now. Let's get Tom on UFC 319. UFC 319, as it stands, does not have a co-main event. UFC 318 doesn't have a fucking co-main event, but that might be too soon for him. If it was up to me, I'd throw him on both. I don't give a shit. You guys can hear it in my voice. The excitement I have for this is such good news, man. Again, you could smack him on the co-main event of Hamzat versus DDP. Imagine that, Hamzat versus DDP with Tom Aspinall's first title defense at heavyweight against literally anybody. I wouldn't even care who it's against. Come on, bro. This is like I can't even speak. This is like breathed. That's not a word. This is like brought new life, basically, into me as a fan. Pause. That sounds gay, but no Jones, right? But this is like brought so much life. Heavyweight. Now we basically have unlocked a division. Heavyweight's been like locked. It's been like a locked character for like, it's been like Jared Cannonier. It's just been a locked character for, feels like years. It's been like, what, 2 years, a year and a half since John has been champion? Even more than that, probably. It feels like it's been locked, but now we can unlock this fucking division. We can get Tom Aspinall. We can get this guy's life moving. We can get his life moving, bro. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. John Jones is done. John Jones is done. This is again, not a lot to say, man. Not a lot to say. This is really cool. I hate John Jones, so hate is a strong word. But I do hate John Jones. I don't care. It is a strong word, but it's a word I'm going to use because it feels very apropos to say, I hate John Jones, and he's gone. I can't believe it. We're just talking in circles at this point. There's not much. Oh my God, there's not much else to say. But overall, this is a great day. This is one of the best days of my life. I think you guys share the same sentiment. This is one of the best days in the history of MMA. This day will be remembered not because World War III is currently happening, but because of the day that John Jones has officially been stripped of the title. And also, I didn't really mention this, and I guess I should add this at the end. I found this very interesting that Dana used the words, yeah, John called me last night and relinquished the belt. I find that very interesting. One, because why is John calling Dana White in the middle of the night? But two, I do not think John willingly vacated the belt, personally. I think this is UFC saying, I think about, let's say, a month or 2 weeks ago, let's say, they gave him a deadline. They said, if you don't accept this before 3/17, we're moving on. They probably called him last night. They said, so what's your answer? And he said, I need more time. Just give me another week to think about it. And they're just like, fuck you. We're stripping you tomorrow. And that's it. I don't think he just willingly vacated. I think this is just kind of saving face because it makes John look a bit better if he just retired. And it makes him look, it's a bad look either way. But if they had stripped him, I don't know. I guess it makes him look a bit worse. I'm not sure. It's a dumb situation, but it's over. It's over. So fuck Dana White. Fuck John Jones. The UFC can finally move on. Us as fans can move on. And of course, the one, the only Tom Aspinall can move on. Just as I was getting ready to put this out, we've got a lot of information. A lot of information, honestly. We got a statement from John Jones. We've got some inside information on how this fell through. And we've also got, apparently John Jones, there's some charges against him. I'm not surprised, of course. And also, for some reason, Death to America and Nuke is trending. Anyways, who gives a fuck about politics, right? I don't care if we die. I just want to play GTA 6. Also, isn't it awesome that John Jones retired before the world is going to end? That's awesome. Before World War III, we got John Jones' retirement, is what I'm trying to say. John Jones released the following statement confirming his retirement. Now, why is it not loading? I don't know. It has loaded. I'm going to read it in his voice, all right? Today, I'm officially announcing my retirement from the UFC. Okay, I don't want to read all this. Today, I've announced my retirement, blah, blah, blah. From the first time I stepped in the octagon, my goal is to push the... This is a chat GPT fucking paragraph. I want to thank the UFC, Dana, Hunter, Lorenzo, God, my family... your family, right? The same family that you've been tormenting with your abuse. Coaches, teammates, the fans. Somehow he has fans. As I close this chapter of my life, I look forward to new opportunities and challenges ahead. MMA will always be a part of who I am. I'm excited to see how I can continue to contribute. Blah, blah, blah. So the way this guy is contributing, right? So that was his statement, right? The way this guy is contributing is, yeah, John Jones has got some new criminal charges. That's the way this guy is deciding to contribute post-retirement. Already, it's not even been a fucking hour. It's been like 2 hours, or it's been a couple hours. It's not even been a day, though. It's been a couple of hours, but it's not even been a day. The Journal has learned a criminal summons accusing Jon Jones, 37, of a misdemeanor charge of leaving the scene of an accident in February, which was filed on Tuesday in Metropolitan Court. Now, I don't know the full story, of course. This guy says, can you stop reporting this stuff from months ago? Look, I think there was a story that came out months ago about this. Something about a lady. I guess she was pregnant too, it says. Some pregnant lady. We'll try to find the article here. Let me see. Here's the article now. I don't think this has anything to do with his retirement or them stripping him, which is my theory. I've already said this, but my theory is they've actually stripped him. The criminal complaint stated an Albuquerque police officer was investigating a traffic crash near San Mateo and Lomas when she came across a woman in the front passenger seat of one of the cars exhibiting signs of significant intoxication and lacking clothes from the waist down. I didn't mean to laugh at that. It's not funny. It's just I wasn't expecting to read that. The woman reportedly said Jones was the driver, but fled the scene on foot. She then called Jones, the complaint stated, and a police service aide spoke to the man on the other end of the call, believed to be Jon Jones. He appeared to be heavily intoxicated, when is he not, and made statements implying his capacity to employ lethal force through third parties to the PSA. The court record stated the PSA requested backup after what was believed to be a threat. When a police officer then talked to Jones and said similar allusions to violence were made, the man on the phone never answered direct questions about whether or not he was Jones, the complaint stated. So, yeah, there was a crash, and there was a woman in a passenger seat. So Jon Jones, basically, it's alleged that he crashed a car, and then he fled from the scene and left a woman behind. She was intoxicated. Who knows what they were doing, obviously. We can guess. Now, the reason I don't believe this story is because Jon Jones is gay. He doesn't like women. No, I'm kidding. This is not something to joke about. If this is true, of course. Yeah, I mean, she's saying that she drank alcohol and consumed mushrooms at Jon's house and recalled needing to change her clothes at his house. Her next recollection was being at the scene of a traffic accident. Wow. So did he drug her? Is that what she's trying to say? Well, she's saying she drank alcohol and consumed mushrooms. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Police said Jon called the woman's phone 13 times. Okay, the police indicated the crash happened February 21st. All right, and that's it. Yeah, it's just so that's about it. Do I believe the story? I don't know. I don't want to say if I believe a story about an incident that serious because it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know the details. It sounds like something Jon would do, though, but this is all alleged. Jon, don't sue me. I'm just talking about what's out there, all right, buddy? So, yeah, this came out, and, you know, I'm not surprised, so I don't really have a crazy reaction to it or anything. It's Jon Jones. What do you guys expect, right? And then, of course, you have this. So we'll end with this, and we'll get out of here. Jon Jones asked for a lot of money. After much negotiation, the UFC got him that money. And Jon Jones said he was in. So he was in. He was in. He was ready to fight. He wanted to fight. Then a couple of days later, he said he was out. Ever since then, the UFC has been trying to convince him to come back, and he said no. So he was in, then he was out, then he was in, then he was out. It sounds like some sort of sexual act. Just in and out, in and out. The UFC have known for quite some time, for several months, that he was out. This is not surprising to me. I think he has said in tweets, the UFC knows my plans, blah, blah, blah. I'm waiting for the UFC to announce it, blah, blah, blah. He's known about, like, we've known about this. They have known about this. Jon has known about this. We haven't known about this. I misspoke. We haven't known about this, and Tom probably hasn't known about this. Maybe he has, though. Maybe he has. The way he's been talking the last couple of weeks, how he's got, like, a fight, and Jon is officially retired. Like, we thought he was joking, but I guess they must have told him. So, that's all I got to add. Yeah, all this stuff kind of came out, like, after I was putting the video together and editing it a little bit and stuff. So, I just wanted to add this bit here in the end. You know, it's hopefully the final video on Jon Jones, unless he gets arrested. Hopefully Jon Jones goes to jail. I'm kidding. All the Jon Jones stuff regarding, like, the woman and stuff, That's alleged. So John Jones, you can't sue me, kid, because it's not even my story. And yeah, I think John Jones, hopefully I never have to speak about you again. I don't care about you. None of us in the MMA community care about you, John Jones. So go fuck yourself. That's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. I just wanted to record this sort of last bit because, again, I was putting the video together and then some more stuff came out. And I said, you know what? Let's just complete this nice bow of a video. Or that doesn't make sense. Let's complete this nice bow. Let's put a bow on this. What am I trying to say? I don't know. John Jones' gayness is rubbing off on me. I don't know. See you guys. Peace.